Yes, the Meep. I promise I can help him get home and then you'll never see me again.
You're assuming he as a pronoun.
True. Yes, sorry, good point.
It already feels like a lifetime ago when I made this video, stupidly getting hyped and believing that Doctor Who had turned a corner and some awesome TV was heading our way. But what the was this episode? I love Doctor Who, but how the hell am I meant to defend this opening intro? Like, it looked like he had been shot by some year 8 drama students who had won a competition. Who the looked at this and thought, yep, this will make the cut? And I swear the first 10-15 minutes is focused on reminding you that Donna can't remember who the Doctor is or she will die. But like 5 minutes after crossing past, the man is already talking about having 2 hearts. Like, my guy, are you just trying to kill her? Before I get into the other stuff, this episode as a whole was so weak to me. Between the sonic screwdriver seemingly spunking out bulletproof glass and London being stitched back together, there were times that I felt embarrassed to be watching this episode. Now, of course, this was the first episode written by Russell T Davies, who has returned as showrunner. I'm putting this down to a bit of rustiness maybe, because let's be honest, if this episode featured any other Doctor and companion that wasn't played by David Tennant and Catherine Tate, this would be seen as such a dire episode. Then there's Rose. I mean, there's probably not a lot I can say that hasn't already been said elsewhere, but if we swapped her out for a plank of wood, would there really be much difference to the story? The most frustrating part was, at first, I had no idea who the actress was or that she was transgender, but in typical BBC fashion, the show was very quick to remind you in every scene that Rose is transgender. Like, we get it, she's gone from boy to girl, but surely that's not what her entire character should be based on. Well, it turns out that being transgender ended up saving Donna Noble. Yep, one of the saddest, deepest endings to a companion since 2009 was resolved because Rose went from boy to girl. And wow, does she feed into the transgender stereotype, going so far as to pronoun check the Doctor of all people. Alien crash landing on Earth. Alien being chased by other aliens. Alien in the living room. But yeah, it's so important to make sure we use the right pronouns when speaking to the alien. I hate where we're at as a society with all of this. And this line pissed me off more than it should have.
Something a male-presenting Time Lord will never understand.
Just let it go.
And we choose to let it go.
Are they taking the piss? When it comes to letting things go, men do that all the time. We fight, we have a drink, we never bring up that fight again. Women, on the other hand, are like fucking elephants, remembering every remark and comment made in the last 10 years. So fact about me, I'm mixed race. I don't know if that's even the politically correct way to describe myself, but it is how I've done it since I was a little kid. But anyways, if you're a white straight guy, it already feels like you're going to be in for a rough ride of being the butt of every joke going forward, so have fun with that. Oh, I nearly forgot this one. I can't remember her name because, again, the wheelchair itself is her defining characteristic. Recently, Davros was pulled out of his wheelchair because now it's suddenly unacceptable to have an evil wheelchair user. I'm not even kidding. Russell T Davies literally said there's a problem with the Davros of old in that he's a wheelchair user who is evil. And I had problems with that, and a lot of us on the production team had problems with that, of associating disability with evil. So immediately, we're given a wheelchair user who is a genius that shoots rockets out of a wheelchair. Besides me thinking how this woman had been cleared for field work in an emergency crash landing site, it's again so off-putting because this character isn't a deep character that happens to be a wheelchair user. The whole reason for her character being here is because she's in a wheelchair. I genuinely have no idea what's happened to this show. The Star Beast was just so lame to watch, from the intro to every race, gender and disability under the sun being shoved into our faces. It came off as so cringe. My favourite Doctor Who episode without a doubt is The Water of Mars, an episode written by the same man who wrote Star Beast. Please, for the love of God, stop focusing on social commentary and messages and focus on giving us exciting TV to watch. And that's how you produce episodes like The Water of Mars, my go-to recommended episode to people that haven't watched Doctor Who before. No idea if I'm even gonna bother watching these upcoming specials if this was just a taste of what's to come. All I've got left to say is I keep seeing stuff like diversity is so good. All I can think about is, why is diversity so good? I'm sure there was a stupid amount of 15-year-olds that could have played Donna's daughter a lot better. Heck, I would have taken Lenny Rush, what an actor he is, but instead we were given this.
Mum, look, it's a spaceship!
Let me know down in the comments what you make of all of this. Don't forget to subscribe. Catch you in the next video. Peace.